Hey guys, it's Coach B. Wiley. How are you doing today? I hope your Saturday is going well. If you're watching this right now, I'm live on TikTok. If you're not seeing this on TikTok, of course, I've uploaded it to YouTube. If you like content about dating and communicating, if you don't even know who I am because you're tuned in on either platform, my name is Coach B. Wiley. I'm a certified professional life coach and published author. And I know somebody might be like, published author. If you're an author, isn't the book published? No, not necessarily. Some people will write books all day and they're never published. They may, I don't know, just keep them in their closet. So my first book is called Hello, My Name is Single. My second book is called Successfully Solving Single. And then I'm currently, I have another book, an ebook called How to Communicate with Your Mate. So those are my 3 books that are already published. And then I'm currently working on 3 other books that'll be out next year. Now, outside of that, let me know in the comments where you guys are from, because last time on my live, there was a young lady from Baltimore. So it's always interesting to see where everyone is from. Now, I got this question came off of Quora. Quora. If you're ever wanting to ask me a dating question, feel free to go on Quora. Feel free to drop me a note on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Email me. All that information is on whatever platform you're looking at. The links are on my link tree in my bio. So I wanted to talk about aggressive women versus assertive women. Y'all in the comments, if you're watching and joining, let me know where you're from. Put it in the comments where you're from. And if you like this content, go ahead and like it. Give it a heart. So when I think of aggressive, let me tell y'all about my cup. So I got my Christmas cup and we got some Christmas magic up in here. So there's some Christmas magic for y'all on this Saturday. Now, when it comes to women, last week I talked about women being masculine. Today I want to talk about women being aggressive. So there's a way to communicate when you're talking to anyone, specifically the someone that you're dating, the dude that is in your life. And a lot of women may not realize the tone we're given, our delivery. So there's one way to be assertive. And what is assertive? When you're assertive and you're asserting something, you're confident, you're positive. When you're aggressive, you're hostile, you're belligerent. So think about what kind of communicator you are. And ladies, I need for you to do a self-assessment on self and think about how you engage when you're bothered, when you're irritated, specifically with the dudes you are dating. If you're unaware of how you respond, how you lead, if you lead with emotions or if you lead with logic, then I challenge you to go ahead, speak with someone that you trust, meaning like your brother, your uncle, your cousin. Speak to a man that you trust who has an unbiased opinion about you, who does not want you romantically, and who knows you inside and out. Someone that you can trust with their opinion to give you constructive feedback, constructive criticism on what type of communicator you are when you're bothered, when you're mad, when you're sad, when you're upset. Because what you're trying to do is not only learn about yourself, you want to know how others see you, because you can have one image about yourself and that could be totally different from what you're showing up as. So have you ever heard a guy say you aggressive and you hard and you harsh? If you've ever heard that, then sis, take a step back and think about it. Perhaps you could be harsh. You could be brash. You could be short. You could be loud. You could be leading with your emotion. Does that make you a bad person? No, that just doesn't make you a good communicator. And that's okay, because you can fix it. It's not a deal breaker unless you see nothing wrong. You see no reason to make the necessary tweaks in the way you communicate, and you've decided that you're going to be aggressive and you don't care. Now, when we're talking about being assertive, let's say someone that you're dating is doing something that's bothersome. Maybe he's saying, hey, I'm going to call you at X, Y, and Z. And he consistently says that, and there's no follow through. He does not follow up. Sure, he calls you, but it's never at the time that he continues to say he's going to do. What is that? That is a pattern in his behavior. So what do? You be assertive and you inquire and you address it. What does that look like? That means it doesn't make you think, all right, he's not doing what he says he's going to do, so there's something wrong with me. I'm the problem. I'm going to be single for the rest of my life. He doesn't want me. That's crazy, right? That's illogical thinking. However, a lot of women tend to think like that when dudes don't back up the things that they're saying. It ain't your fault that he's not backing up what he's saying. It's a he thing. So what do? We address it. And when you address that, you're not leading with emotion. Emotions will have you acting aggressive AF. Leading with your emotions and sitting in your emotions and leaning in all the way in, and you don't have no rational thinking, you don't have no logical thinking, will have you being aggressive. What does aggression look like? It looks loud and wrong majority of the time. And even if you're loud and right, ain't nobody trying to hear that. That dude ain't trying to hear you yell and point your finger and knock the lamp off the table and kick the dog in the foot. Don't nobody have time or even want to create time for someone who communicates like that. So no matter if you feel like your lid is going to blow off for whatever is egging you, I need for you to put the lid back on the pot, sit down with yourself, think things through, and decide that you're going to communicate like you got good sense, because you do have good sense. And if you have this pattern of communicating in an aggressive way, ain't nobody going to want to communicate with you. And or when you're in this dating situation with this guy, he might have something that's bothering him about you. However, he's not going to want to bring it and address it with you because he knows you're the type that flies off the handle. All right, so I got a little sidebar here. So a little side story. So guys, outside of being a life coach, I do rideshare. I've been doing rideshare, before I even got certified to be a life coach. So about 7.5 years. If you're joining and you like this video, go ahead and heart it, like it, and let me know where you're from in the comments. So this guy was in my car and we had a ride. It was like a 30-minute ride. And he was really cool. At first, it was tricky how I picked him up and where I picked him up from. But when he got in the car, it was all good. Good energy. He was on the phone, but when he got off the phone, he was like, I'm sorry I was on the phone. I didn't mean to do that, Miss Brooke. And we were talking. So it was really nice. It was considerate, too. And so we're talking. We had a little small talk about what I do and what he do. He's a truck driver. He travels all around. He has 7 kids by 5 women and 45 years old. Like, when people get in my car, let me tell y'all something. When people get in my car, I don't put that I'm a life coach in my Uber or Lyft bio. I don't put it in there. But people will come into my car and they will start spilling the beans. I won't say nothing to them beyond, hey, because I will greet you when you get in my car. Outside of that, some people, I'm not kidding you, they will get right on in and start running their mouth. And I just be listening, because that's what I do. I'm here to listen. And so it helps me provide even new content with you guys. So anyway, so we're talking. So we quit our conversation because he was on the phone with one of his baby mamas. He told me that. So then he got back on the phone with her because she called him back. So I'm just listening to this guy. And the conversation, they're talking about money. And she was having an issue with paying her rent on time. He was going to help her pay her rent, give her some money to pay her rent. However, the way he was talking to her, it was a little bit of arrogance. It was a subtext of arrogance. He wasn't being disrespectful. It was just the arrogance undertone, that tone. Let me tell y'all something. You could be telling somebody something that will literally help them make them $1 million. However, if your tone, it's your tone that's thrown off, they won't hear half of the stuff that you're saying because they're turned off. And then they're in their head about, well, who they think they're talking to with this tone. And then next thing you know, you're cussing this person out in your mind about the information they're giving you. Even though you could benefit from it, it'd be the tone that makes you tune them out. So I heard how he was talking to her. They eventually got off the phone. And I said to him, I don't remember exactly how I opened the conversation, but we got into a conversation. And I was just like, your communication when you were talking to her, I said it had a subtext of like you the man and you run everything. And you can just pretty much say whatever you want to say because you're the one with the money. Because in the conversation, he kept referencing the fact that he takes care of his kids. If they need anything, it ain't going to be money. He works every day. He has PTO. It just kept going back to money. And I said, the way you talk to her, so it was like, you think that I'm talking to her like I got leverage over her? And I was like, bingo. That's exactly how you're talking to her. What you're saying to her isn't disrespect, but your subtext is giving arrogant and it's giving leverage. And ladies, when you're in a situation like this with a guy, and you think that because he has money or because of where he came from, where he lives, where the parties, the events he attends, who he knows, and you think that he's above you, I'm telling you he's not. No one's above anyone. It doesn't matter if you're a multimillionaire or if you make $10,000 a year. We're humans at the end of the day. Sure, one person may be able to live a more luxurious life at that moment. However, you could be making 10,000 today and 100,000 tomorrow. It's just all about life, because that's what happens in life. Things happen. That does not mean that you have to have this arrogance or this tone on you when you're engaging with someone, like you run them or you're better than them, or that they're less than you, or that you know more than them because of your education, your background, where you've been, who you know. So when you're talking to someone, specifically the dude that you're dating, you need to be aware of your tone, because even to you, it might give frustration. However, it may come out like you just think he a dog on the street, and that's how he feels like you're talking to him. So when you're in this, and the dude that I talked to, side note, so the dude that I was talking to before he got out of the car, he was like very appreciative, because at first he was a little combative. He wasn't disrespectful, but when I started to tell him about how he was communicating to that woman, he was like, well, hold on, and then finally he was like, nah, I'm gonna listen. And then he started to listen, and he was like, I totally understand where you're coming from. I can see what you mean by that. And that's good, right? Because that just means that someone with emotional intelligence, if you're incapable of listening to what someone says, you got to question yourself. Why don't I want to hear what this person has to say? And according to me, I like them. I respect them. I'm dating them. But when he comes and open his mouth and he's trying to tell me something that I could probably learn from, why am I full of resistance? A lot of women, you got to think about that when you're dating these guys and you hit a point of conflict. You have to ask yourself, why am I being resistant when it comes to him letting me know something that's turning him off, something he does not like? Would I have a pattern of doing? Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody perfect, not me, not you. So we're going to have our things when we're dating someone, and it's not okay for you to jump down his throat when you have a problem with something and be aggressive. That is not okay. And it's not okay on the flip side, like with that situation with that guy in my car. It's not okay for him to have this undertone of, I'm the man, I run everything, and you need me before I need you. It's not okay for him to have that undertone with you if and when you need something from him, because you never know. The tables can turn. What you have today could be somebody else's tomorrow, and vice versa. So you have to remember that when you're having conflict in these dating scenarios, and you want to make sure you're on your P's and Q's. And sometimes, no, a lot of time women don't want to make the necessary tweaks in our communication style, because maybe when you get called out for something appropriately in a constructive way, maybe you feel embarrassed. A lot of people, when we make mistakes with communication, you can feel embarrassed. I remember the last time, I wouldn't say I was embarrassed, but I knew it wasn't right. It was my 40th birthday, and we were in Vegas, and it was a family trip. Family that came in from Arkansas, from Arizona, and then I think that was pretty much it, Arkansas and Arizona. And we all met up in Vegas when I was 40. And I remember my cousin specifically. My cousin was asking me certain questions about going this and doing that. And when a price came up, it's like she was taking too long to make a decision when it came to certain things to do. And that was getting on my nerves. And it is just like, because my communication style and how I operate, I'm a straight shooter. Everything is black and white. I can make a decision. I have to analyze it, sure, but it doesn't take me long to analyze certain things. If it's not life, if it's like something, are we going to go to the ice bar or the Ferris wheel? Like, which one? Like, why are we thinking all day about this? Pick one and let's do it. If something is $40 and it gives you all of this plus lobster and steak, but this one is $44 and you get an extra lobster, like, why are we pondering on this so long? Pick one and move on. So she was taking too long for me to make a decision on something. Then after that, she wanted to go to the mall. I'm not a mall girl. I don't go out shopping. If I go somewhere, I know what I want. I go straight for it and I get the F out, and I go on off-peak hours because I don't like crowds. It gives me anxiety because it's like an ant pile when a whole bunch of people are everywhere, and I immediately get anxious, and I don't want to be anxious. There's no reason for it if I don't have to be. So anyway, I was short with her, and what I did was I realized it, because I'm always working on being self-aware. I'm always thinking in my mind, how am I coming off? What am I doing? How is the other person taking it? I take myself out of it. I look from the outside in, and it might sound like a lie. Someone actually told me on a trip in Miami, they were like, that sounds like a lie. But it's how I roll. It's not a lot for me. I'm a multitasker. So I'm thinking about what I'm thinking, what you thinking, what you think about. I'm thinking how it looks, what it sounds like, what could be thinking, what the stranger over there is thinking, what it looked like. So I'm literally thinking about all that, but it's quick. And so I realized I was being short. And when I realized that, I was just like, it made me sad for some reason. For some reason, it made me sad. I don't want to be like that. We're on vacation. It's my 40th birthday. Let's kick it. Y'all came out here for me. Why am I being short? Why am I being a B? And that doesn't stand for Brooke. And so what I did was, when we got on that Ferris wheel, the big wheel, I forget, I think it might be called the big wheel, whatever, in Vegas, you know what I'm talking about. We were on that, and I let her and her friend know. I forget her friend's name. I'm not good with names, but she was a cool kid. I said, hey guys, you know what? I've been short with y'all. I'm sorry. I realize I've been short. I feel bad about it. I shouldn't be doing it. But I just recognize that's what I was doing. And I'm sorry. And I literally apologized right then and there. And as I was apologizing, I felt sad. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to cry. I didn't cry though. I didn't cry. I'm just saying. And so my cousin was like, no, it's no big deal. Oh, it's no big deal. And they were just like, they accepted it. And it was no big deal. Guess what that is? That's taking accountability. Guess what that is? That is owning it. Guess what that is? That's something that did not make me feel comfortable. But guess what? Because I'm mentally okay and logical, I knew I had to do that. I couldn't let it go. And some people will find out things we're doing wrong in dating situations, and because we're embarrassed, because we're sad, because we're uncomfortable about it, even though it's us that's doing it, we'll try to brush it under the rug, or we'll try to overcompensate with an extra hug, an extra handhold, an extra compliment. We'll then begin to lay it on thick to push out the fact that we acted inappropriately, or we communicated inappropriately, or we were aggressive in our communication. And that is not okay. That's not what adults do. Adults see a problem within self and they correct it and they move on. And no one should be mad and fighting and fussing about it or holding grudges, because that's not what adults do who have logic. So I just wanted to talk to you guys really quick about that. If you're on here, if you're just checking in, I'm talking about dating, communicating, how not to be aggressive versus being assertive, and what that looks like. Now, if you ever want to ask me a question, if you like this video, feel free to like it. But outside of that, if you ever want to ask me a question about dating, communicating, I'm doing a video every day for the month of December, and I'm thinking about doing that moving forward into the new year, because you guys have really been commenting and subscribing and following and engaging more and more for each video that I put out. So clearly it's working. So I just want to know what you guys want to know. Whatever your questions are, let me know. I will answer a question for you for free on here in a video. Now, if you want to do a one-on-one with me, that's a different story. The link is in my bio. Go to mymentor.life. The link is in my bio. Look me up, Coach B. Wiley. The link takes you straight to it, and then you can book me as your life coach. Now, that is not free. However, it's not just super expensive either. It's affordable. Trust me. So if you want to do that, feel free to do that. Or if you just want to get a quick question and I can address it, I'd love to do that. Outside of that, if you want to check me out elsewhere, I do have a personal page on Instagram. It's still under Coach B. Wiley, but I don't talk about dating and communicating. I used to on there, but I changed that page to just like a personal blog about what I'm doing from day to day, my funny experiences, what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, what I'm doing. That's what I do on my Instagram. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can, but I'm never on Facebook because I'm in the shadow ban. I've been in the shadow ban for years. They will not take me out, so I don't really post on there. And I have a pinned comment that says where I be, which is here on TikTok and or on YouTube. So if you like this video, feel free to share it. If you know someone who could benefit from dating and communicating videos, on my YouTube alone, I have over 700 videos. I think this might make 711 videos on there, and my TikTok is ticking, so get into it. I'm here to help. I'll be glad to help, and I think that's it. And one time for the cup. One time for the cup. Now it does, here, you can't really see it. I'll put it back here so you can really see it light up. But it lights up. I got this cup from the Dollar General. And I have another page, side note. I have another page where there's bargains, but you can't find it because it's hidden right now. I've only done one video on it like a year ago, but I do have a page that's all about books and bargains, and where I'm going to revive it next year on YouTube. I'll let y'all know. And it's going to be all about the books I'm reading, the books I've read, telling you about those books. And then I'm going to be telling you about the bargains that I found. Because I found this, it has a globe top that you screw on, but I don't want the top on. It's red, and it came with the red straw. This straw did not come with it. So this cup, it says North Pole. It came from the Dollar General. It was, I think this cup, no, not the Dollar General. This came from the Dollar Tree. It was $125, and then it has this button on bottom that makes the cup light up, and it come with the dome top, but I don't want it on there. And this actually came from the Dollar General. I got 3 metal straws from the Dollar General that I love to use. I love metal straws. So I want to go on there, and I'll be talking about my bargains. This shirt, for example, came from Forever. No, that's not true. I ain't been to no Forever 21. I don't even know why I said that. What is that store called? Five Below. Crazy. Five Below. Oh, and let's get into the cover, honey. The cover, it is so soft. This came from, I'm pretty sure I got this one from Walmart. I got this from Walmart. I think it was like $14 or under. And I have it on my couch. Y'all can't see my couch, but my couch is over there. My couch is gray. So yeah, so I think that's about it. And my pajama pants are the Rugrats. They came from, I think, Walmart for like $10. So that's it. My bracelets came from Walmart. My earrings, I don't know. But so that's it, guys. Outside of that, that was just a side note. That's what I do. So that's going to be a part of that page. Bargains. I think I called it Books and Bargains. You might be able to find it. It's one video on there. It's about my book. I talk about my book, Hello, My Name is Single. But outside of that, guys, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Let me know your questions, and I got you in a video. Talk to you later.